Hello there, we're glad you could join us for another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. A person's mental health is just as important as their physical health and deserves the same quality of support. Now, healing takes time, and asking for help is a courageous step. Don't go anywhere, there is still more to come. Please, stay with us.
We are not entitled to not even tomorrow, but we got to make the most of today. And we do so by understanding that as Jamaicans, our spirit must be a spirit of unity, a spirit of purpose, and a spirit of gratitude, where we appreciate what is taking place, and we also appreciate that it never took place before. So even though we are stressed, we are blessed.
Day, I'm Lisa Rowe, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, October 16, 2024. Drax Hall in St. Anne is emerging as a competitive commercial hub that could soon rival other similarly established areas across Jamaica. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, who was delivering the keynote address at the opening of a new branch of Quartz Jamaica store in Drax Hall on Thursday. The Prime Minister says the town has rapidly developed into a bustling commercial hub, largely due to its strategic location along the north coast and its proximity to the highway.
The area has attracted international brands, along with a growing number of local enterprises. This influx of investment has triggered a construction boom and positioned Draxall as an ideal location for business expansion.
Dr. Holness says Drax Hall's emerging commercial prowess is also a testament of the diverse economic potential of the parish, which is translating into tangible benefits for the community.
The Unicomer Group and your decision to expand by establishing this beautiful new store here in Draxall is a testament to your confidence in Jamaica's future and a signal of the vast opportunities for investors, entrepreneurs, and the people of this region.
7 volatile communities across Jamaica are set to benefit from a 6-year violence prevention partnership program by the United Kingdom, UK, and Jamaica. The program was launched on Tuesday with grant funding of £15 million from the UK government. It will target 25,000 students across 34 primary and high schools within communities that have been declared as Zones of Special Operations, ZOSOs. The Ministry of National Security says the aim is to strengthen the national capability to collect data and assess the drivers of crime and violence. In addition, the program will support the prevention efforts of civil society and community groups. National Security State Minister Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn says the activities of the program align with the country's Citizen Security Plan, which supports the Interministerial School Support Strategy to combat student violence.
We will develop and deliver multifaceted interventions focused on schools, youth, and communities to prevent violence. The multi-sectoral approach under this program is very essential. We will simultaneously deliver psychosocial, case management, that's ongoing, that's happening, literacy and parenting interventions in 7 volatile communities, all while improving the data infrastructure to drive evidence-based decision-making.
The Ministries of Education and Health, along with the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, are among the implementing partners.
This initiative represents a significant step towards fostering a safer and a more nurturing environment for our children, and will provide them with the additional tools they need to resolve conflicts peacefully and to stand against violence in all its forms.
We're committed to providing you with the tools that you need and the support that you need to help transform lives and communities, working closely with parents. Thank you for your testimony. I felt that. Yeah, we parents, we all want the best for our little ones. and their students and giving them the help that they need so that they themselves can become the actors of change.
Meanwhile, students are also being provided with ways to resolve conflicts peacefully and prevent escalation into harmful situations through the Social Justice School Tour. The intervention is being administered by the Ministries of Justice and Education. The aim is to educate students about various restorative and social justice methods and support organizations. During a tour at the Raciz High School in Hanover recently, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck urged students to apply conflict resolution techniques and emphasize the importance of non-retaliation in disputes.
Yes, you're going to be in disagreement with one another, but if somebody abuse you, even hit you, do not retaliate. Do not take revenge. If necessary, ask the person to apologize, but don't get into a fight. Because once you get into a fight, you don't know where it will end. One of you could easily fall, hit your head, and die.
Minister Chuck also urged the students to be agents of change and encourage their fellow students to improve their approach to conflicts.
Every student here must get to know what is RJ or restorative justice. Every student here must get to know about child diversion, get to know about victim services. If you know a student of anyone who has been abused, who is a victim of crime, tell them to go to victim services and get counseling and support.
Schools from across Hanover, including Green Island, Rhodes Hall and Hopewell High and Lucy Primary, participated in the event. In addition to the Ministry of Justice agencies, students also received information from organizations such as the Jamaica Constabulary Force and Heart NSTA Trust. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining is set to introduce a cost of production tool that will assist bee farmers with accurately calculating their operational expenses. The initiative stems from a national cost of production study that was done to provide bee farmers with a competitive and cost-effective framework. The aim is to provide sustainable business solutions for beekeepers, such as effective pricing of products to mitigate financial strain. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green gave the details at the second annual St. James Bee Farmers Association Healthy Lifestyle Day recently.
So anybody who wants to go into beekeeping and wondering what is it going to cost them and how much money will they be able to make at the end of the day, you have to think about these things up front, because agriculture is a business. We're going to put this on the website and we're going to do additional training and sensitization so that our bee farmers can enhance their productivity and, importantly, their profitability.
The ministry will collaborate with local beekeeping associations to establish optimal production costs for beekeepers across the island. In addition, Minister Green congratulated local bee farmers for their remarkable achievements, including the inspection of 14,000 colonies and the establishment of over 160 new apiaries since the beginning of the year. Two families of Belvedere, Westmoreland, are now owners of a two-bedroom house and a studio unit. The keys were presented to the beneficiaries on Friday by Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie. It was done under the Indigent housing program, which is designed to address housing challenges experienced by the poor and most vulnerable citizens.
This is an obligation, this is a responsibility of local government to provide indigent housing solutions through the Poor Relief Department and the various municipalities. And we have built more than 100 of these housing solutions across Jamaica. Right here in Westmoreland, we have spent over $30 million.
Lloyd East, one of the recipients, expressed his gratitude.
Give thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. In Jesus' name.
And finally, Senior citizens and volunteers from Kingston, St. Thomas, St. Mary, and Portland have been recognized for their distinguished services. The presentations were made recently at the Regional Awards ceremony of the National Council for Senior Citizens. It includes recognition for Distinguished Senior Citizen, Outstanding Senior Citizen, Excellence in Volunteerism, Corporate Service Award, and Diamond Club Award. Minister of State in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Dr. Norman Dunn, lauded the seniors for their contribution to national development and for their dedication, wisdom, and unwavering spirit.
Today, 5 honorees represents the best of what it is to live a life of purpose and to be of service to others. Your impact resonates far beyond your communities, and we salute your unwavering commitment. You have built a foundation upon which our country now stands, and your legacy will continue to inspire all of us.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
We share a lot of sensitive information and data, and once criminals get access to this information, indeed people are at risk based on the sensitivity of the information that they share.
Good mental health is greatly influenced by how we react, relate, and maintain boundaries with people around us. Maintaining your mental well-being can facilitate the growth of fulfilling interpersonal connections. And there's more when it comes to good mental wellness. We'll share them with you in this upcoming video.
It's very important that we all take care of our mental health. Good mental health, mental wellness impacts on and will affect how we live within our family, interact with family members. When we enjoy good mental wellness, it impacts on how we function in school, function at the workplace, relate to members in our community, members at church, and the wider society. So it's very important for us to enjoy mental wellness. There are some important things that we need to do. First of all, take care of ourselves. Self-care is important. It's also important for us to establish high value, healthy social connections, yes? What we find is that people who live longer, live healthier on a daily basis are people who invest in good social relationships, you know, with your family, with your friends, people at school, people at the workplace, people in your community of faith. So it's so important for us to find time to invest and to interact with people. It's also important for us to recognize that, you know, mental illness can affect anyone in the community, anyone in our family, and that when we're not doing well, it's so important for us to seek help very early. I know we live in a society where there's a lot of negative attitudes, high level of stigma towards mental health and mental illness. But it's so important for us to, when we're having problems, when we're having difficulty, be it not sleeping well or struggling at the workplace, difficulty studying at school, or problems relating with others around us, indicate that we're having some mental health challenges, yes? And when these things are happening to us, it's important for us to seek professional help early. And in seeking professional help, it's so important that we choose people who are adequately trained, because there are lots of people who are out there practicing who are not adequately trained, and they can give us wrong advice, treat us in inappropriate ways. We're also living in a world, post-pandemic, after the pandemic, where we've seen a surge in mental health problems, especially among young people. Depression, suicidal ideation, problems adjusting to school and so on. And we're seeing it, based on the number of persons young people who are coming forward for help. And what I want to advise parents, family members, teachers and so on, to recognize that our young people are having mental health challenges, and when they present, let us listen to them, respond to them in a non-judgmental manner, and most importantly, encourage them to seek help very early. It's very important, because too many young people have found that they have not been able to achieve their goals in studying or career goals because of mental illness and not having gotten treatment early in their illness. So I encourage us, encourage our young people, support them to seek help when it's necessary.
Are you aware of how Jamaican adolescents use social media? What do they do online? What do they post? Do you know if they are being harassed? These are questions you should be asking yourself, because it is your duty to keep your children safe online. Parents, here's what you need to do. Be active online and offline. Help your child to set up his or her online profile. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the different social media applications that they use and set some rules. Protect our nation's children and save them from cybercriminal attacks.
One click of a button can lead to you getting hacked. There are a lot of people who fall victim to such cybercrimes because they are unaware of the threats that pose as trends. Let's learn more about how you can protect yourself in cyberspace.
Cybersecurity trends, though ever-changing, are a constant in today's society, even more so due to the increased usage of technology to attend school, conduct meetings, carry out work tasks, and basic day-to-day necessities.
There are a lot of trends out there, but as far as the online space, phishing is one of the enduring challenges out there, and the trend these days is to actually utilize COVID-19 resource sites as a platform from which to launch these attacks. They look very much like the official sites for a lot of these companies, and if you're really not wary, you will actually not realize that there are subtle changes, such as misspellings, such as a graphic that is not where it should be.
So phishing, what really is it? According to our research, it is a type of social engineering attack often used to steal your user data, including login credentials and credit card numbers. As Lieutenant Colonel Sterling just explained, the hackers can replicate a trusted website. They can even trick you into opening malicious emails and messages. Once you do this, by clicking the link attached, you could very well be giving the hackers access to your private information, so be careful.
Additionally, we've seen an uptick in ransomware, and this is where this usually starts as part of a phishing campaign, and when you have fallen victim, the end result is that the attacker gains access to either your device or your network, and they encrypt your files and ask for ransom. But we're also seeing an increase in cryptojacking. This is where hackers will actually steal your cryptocurrencies and they will take them to exchanges and cash out. So as Jamaicans become more adept at buying cryptocurrency and supporting our own digital currency issued by the central bank, they have to be more wary of some of the pitfalls of cryptojacking online. Now, we have seen also a good trends where the use of HTTPS for web-facing resources has increased by about 174% within the region. We have also seen a downward trend in malware infections because more persons are installing antivirus and anti-malware software and are generally becoming more responsible in their use. The need for security, if you really measure it, is costly, but the existence of a lack of security can be even more costly. Now, for the individual, there are free apps within the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store that you can use to help to secure your devices. And sometimes for a nominal cost, there are some that you can also use that will do a better job. Now, what works for you is really going to be up to what you do online and the devices that you have. But the risk of not having any protection at all is one that cannot necessarily have a dollar value placed to it. If your device gets encrypted by ransomware, what is the cost of it? Do you have backups? So that's another thing that you need to do, to back up your device, not just the settings, but also your data on the device. It is very easy to get pirated software or so-called free software from some download sites and torrents, but usually they come with unwelcome and hidden residents that will take over your devices and will sometimes cause you grief. So while it does have a cost attached to it, you have to do the cost-benefit analysis. What is the cost of not having security versus having security? And I can almost assure you that when you really do it, the cost of security will work out way cheaper than not having security.
Secondary students, it's time to get creative for the JIS Heritage Poster Competition 2024. Whether you're a whiz with digital design or love to illustrate, this is your chance to shine. Design a poster using this year's exciting theme, Out of Many, One People. Prizes are up for grabs, so bring your A-game. Submit your masterpiece between September 2 and October 31. For all the details and the guidelines, head to jis.gov.jm. Don't miss out. Show Jamaica your talent and create something amazing. It is no doubt that our little but Talawa Jamaica has a rich culture and heritage, and this has been centuries in the making as our cuisine, music, dance, and most importantly, our people evolve. As we celebrate Heritage Week, two elders share their experience of the culture from years gone by.
Being Jamaican is a unique, rich experience that encompasses so much. Our food, music, dialect,
Go and go tell my brother them said,
and most importantly, our family. Follow me as I pay a visit to two among that Jamaican family, Miss Delcita and her daughter Glossy, who had a lot to say about our heritage.
go down a Manuel Road, Galam boy, took a broke rock stone, Galam boy, finger mash no cry, Galam boy, remember the play with the play, Galam boy. My name is Delcita Fuller. I was born in 1935. I was born in Spanish Town and most of my time spent in St. Catherine. My mother had me and my older sister. My father had two other children, which was not with my mother. Those days children got to make your own toys. We didn't get toys like children these days. Only at Christmas they will buy you a toy. And maybe the girl would get a doll or the boy get something else. The girls will make plays like ring plays, clap hand plays, and all sort of different things to enjoy ourselves. In the country we don't have shops near us, so we would have to go maybe a mile or two to shop. And it was good in those days. People around us looked after children. When our parents send us out, not like now you'll be worrying. In those days we didn't have a lot of taxis and buses and vehicles. Do you know that if I tell you 1 and 6, 1 shilling and 6 pence, you wouldn't have no idea how much that is. And I have some coins there that it was 20 pence make a shilling. A man's daily wages was a shilling and 6 pence. But that shilling and 6 pence, you could take the 6 pence to the shop and you could buy some flour, and you could buy some oil, and maybe some saltfish. I met my husband and we get together when I was 17, and I had my first child when I was 19, and we lived together until he died. Well, we had 6 children together. My eldest is here. What's your age? She'll say it.
I was born in 1954. All the time in my life, I've always been reminded, especially when I was young, that I was the eldest. And it seemed to me that I was expected to behave as an older child, even when I was, 3, 4, and 5. But on looking back, I feel like the older or the eldest child was always, to take on some sort of responsibility, and that was expected of you. Yes, it was part of the heritage. And I think even when I grew up my children, I felt the same sort of thing.
I think I brought my children up the way my mother brought me up. In my time, and there was nothing named television in Jamaica, and even when I was young, is one or few people have radio. I tell you, we had fun, because in the evenings at my parents' home, we'd have the visitors and they would play games. I can think of one, they call it ring play, that could be 10 of you, 6 of you, 12 of you, have a stone in your hand, and you'll sit around in a ring and you'll sing, go down a Manuel Road, girl and boy, to go broke rock stone, girl and boy, finger must no cry, girl and boy, remember the play with the play, girl and boy. And in that time, when I pick up my stone, I drop it here, and I'm ready to get your stone, and it's going around like that. My stone there, and I pick the next, and it goes around the ring, and you had fun. I don't know if you're getting it.
I get it. Our memories that make us Jamaicans are the fabric that binds us together. So, what's your heritage?
Jamaica is my heritage.
Jamaica is my heritage.
This is where we close the chapter on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, but be sure to join us tomorrow on this station for all the information you need to know. Until then, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and all other happenings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. See you next time.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.